The government has given a commitment to say that no public sector worker will be worse off on a net pay basis than they were before. And that involves a realistic quantification of non-cash benefits and an evaluation of them. And that could be a contentious issue, because if you're treating something that was a benefit as really you can take it away and not put anything back, then you're really not achieving the same net result.
The compensation review issue now taking place in the public sector, I mean, there's quite a bit of disquiet taking place within the public sector among workers. And it seems as if the process is not progressing in the way that it was said to be by the minister. I want your thoughts on that.
Well, we are very concerned. That's obviously a critical issue for Jamaica. I think the government got off on the wrong foot with how that started, with the way in which, for example, the motor vehicle concession was dealt with, where that was an announcement was made of it being removed. There was no real consultation around that, and that, I think, upset a lot of people. And we're also concerned about how the issue of equity is being dealt with. You know, the government has given a commitment to say that no public sector worker will be worse off on a net pay basis than they were before. And that involves a realistic quantification of non-cash benefits and an evaluation of them. And that could be a contentious issue, because if you're treating something that was a benefit as really you can take it away and not put anything back, then you're really not achieving the same net result. So these are hard issues, and these issues, I think, are going to cause the negotiations to be, not the easiest. And I having seen or heard what the profile of the benefits looks like, I think that they're trying to ensure that certain positions that they consider to be important and strategic are close to market or at market, and those positions will enjoy a huge increase relative to where they are now. And maybe at the bottom there might be an increase that is, but in between, I think there's not going to be as much joy there, and that's going to be another issue. So we're not part of those negotiations, and the government hasn't really been keeping the public abreast of how they're going. But the unions who are on it, from time to time, we'll have conversations with them, and I know that there are some challenges in the process.
I just wanted to just add very quickly. I mean, it is implied in what you said, Commander, but how long it is taking, and just the information and transparency for the workers and unions, I think is troubling, especially given all the other information we have, whether it is around inflation, whether it is around the level of the increase in poverty, and whether it is around malnutrition, whether it is around that we're just going into back to school. It almost seems as if the government is going about it, yes, being careful, but almost oblivious to the impact on the Jamaican workers. And so we are watching that carefully as well before we begin to say more. The truth is that
it's happening in a high inflation environment.
Yeah.
And that I don't think was where they expected to be when they originally planned this thing. And that's going to necessitate some adjustments, which are going to have an impact on the fiscal accounts. Because people are not, the 4% increase for the last fiscal year is, given that inflation is now in double digits, has been as high as 11 point something and is still over 10, that is really meaning that people's purchasing power and disposable income is being eroded, and they're not going to just sit back and accept that. So more to come with that,